Hello, Ailish Castillo. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Really good. I'm so thrilled to have you here to interview.
Thanks for having me. It's really good. I'm delighted to be part of your festival.
And we're delighted to have you. And actually, I'm not going to talk for the rest of the time. I'm just going to listen to your accent because it's just
Oh,
lovely. Just keep
no,
talking.
you'll be so sick of it. Don't.
No, it's wonderful. Now, where are you actually based? Are you based in London?
Yeah, well, just outside
Oh,
Windsor.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a lovely part of the world. Mm.
I know. I can see the Queen's Castle if I look between the trees very hard. So.
Oh, wow, I'm so jealous. I can see some rain and a couple of really ugly houses.
Oh no. Yeah, but you're central, and you can't beat that. So.
Yes, it's really useful in lockdown, actually. So let's get on to this incredible film, The Widow. I mean, I was blown away. It was some great reviews from our judges, which you won't have seen. But it's a very, very heavy topic, a very heavy story, beautifully shot. How did you come up with this idea?
Um, okay, so it started when I decided to put pen to paper and write some short stories just to remember my grandparents. And one of them then became The Widow. So this is inspired by my grandmother on my dad's side, whose husband, my grandfather, died in 1949.
Wow.
And he died of TB while she was pregnant with my dad, her third child. And so all his childhood was it was very harsh, and she struggled a lot. I mean, if it was in today's time, she would have had help and support, but it wasn't there. And also in Ireland, in general, a lot of people didn't talk about their problems. Your problems were kept behind closed doors. So for me, making this into a film, I wanted to highlight the struggle and the silent kind of suffering that a lot of women went through.
Wow.
And yeah, so I guess it kind of stemmed from that.
Wow, so it's kind of loosely almost based on a true story, really. Like you're saying,
Almost, almost. It's
inspired, inspired.
inspired by
There's
Peggy.
liberties
Yeah.
taken. Oh, well, I really hope, I can't wait for the audience to see it, and I really hope that they enjoyed as much as I do, even if it's
I
hard
hope so
to watch
too.
places. Now, you've got these incredible actors playing the children. The little boy, oh my goodness, how did you find him?
Then I know he's a gem. So I needed kids that looked like me. And my own two children are mixed race. So I was like, sorry, kids, not 1950s Ireland, but maybe the next one. Um, so my friends' children were more than happy to help out, and they were just fantastic. I mean, I wanted a little bit of chaos and for it to be a bit overwhelming for the main character, the mom, and that's exactly what it was. The amazing cinematographer Sally Lowe just let the camera roll, and so we had these really long takes of the breakfast scene where the kids were just creating havoc, spilling a bit of milk, I was trying to brush the daughter's hair while the other kid was crashing the cars into the sugar bowl, and it was brilliant. And yeah, I don't think they realized they were acting; they were just having a laugh.
Really? So that was these were all one long shot that she was doing, and then editing later to pick the
Yes.
pieces that she wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And as the take went on, you'll see when you see it, it'll make sense. But I leave to go and do my thing, and the littlest one, Finn, he started getting quite clingy to me, and like I hadn't written it that way. I'd written it very loosely so that there would be a lot of improv. And he wanted to be held by me, and he wanted me to pick him up, and so I was kind of doing it a little bit, it was part of the hectic scene. But then when I had to leave on my own, and bless him, it just broke his heart whenever I left the room.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It was breaking my heart because he'd run after me crying, and I was trying to explain to him afterwards, look, it's just pretend. But yeah, I love him so much. All the kids were amazing, but luckily his mom is a really good friend of mine, and she was happy to lend me her son, so thanks, Rachel.
He's a little star in the making. I mean, they were all brilliant. But
They were all fab. They really were.
so
Yeah.
what I found really interesting about a lot of the entries that are in TweetFest that are in this year at least is that we've got a bunch of females who are also producing or directing or producing or writing their own content. And we're interviewing a few of you. So you directed this as well. Well, co-directed, didn't you, with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
director, with Nicola Morris?
More. Yeah.
I mean, how was that? You're acting as the lead in this really heavy story that's really intense with all your extra family there, playing your family, and then you're also directing. How'd that work?
Okay, so I kind of had to leave my producing shoes at the door of the set, and in those 3 days of filming, I had to just concentrate on being Nora. And so I was more of a director role when it came to the editing. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So luckily, Nicola was great on set for the 3 days as director, and I don't know how we did it. We just kind of did. Like there were moments when we had to just stumble along and be like, oh, we forgot to get a close up of Holy Mary in the church. Okay, we'll get to it later. Come on, we've got to go. Like it felt like a bit of a hurricane at times. But we knew what we were getting was really good.
Yeah.
And what was getting to go in the can was beautiful, and I was really happy with what we did get. And so by the end of the 3 days, we had to do pick up a few shots about a month later. So actually it was a 4-day shoot altogether. But yeah, I felt like I had something special. And you're right, there has been a movement where there has been a lot of females taking charge and taking more of a powerful role in film, and we're not just that supporting female role anymore. And man, it's about time, yeah, I think it's great. I'm not sure what shifted. Maybe it was, about 5 years ago when the Harvey Weinstein case came out and there was this whole Me Too movement. And I think it allowed women to step up and be like, yeah, X, Y, and Z has happened to me, but I'm still here. What can I do with myself? And I don't know, maybe it gave us all an inner confidence in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope that this is just the beginning of a whole new world, because I'm always saying, I mean, we both talked about children and having little ones, and I'm always saying to my partner, I need my children to grow up in a world where they understand that 50% of what they watch on television and what they see and what they read is about women, because 50% of the population is. So I just hope that more and more of this, equality needs to be everywhere, so that they don't understand anything else,
Big time. And for them to watch something where the protagonist is a female, for it to be a norm and not just a supporting role will be nice.
That Bechdel test, right? We're not a love interest. It's not about a boy, and it's not, we're not playing the housewife or all those,
the damsel in distress.
Actually, you are kind of playing a housewife, but you know what I mean. Like
apart from my film, that was just the beginning.
Yes, exactly.
That's how it begins.
Who you are and that character.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I want to now ask you, what would be your one learning from making The Widow that you would take out, and if you were talking to a whole bunch of new filmmakers who were just learning the ropes, what would be the one thing you'd say, don't forget this, as your big takeout from making your film?
Right. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind when you're saying that is, don't take the negative as a bad thing. So for instance, I knew that I had to push this engine along, and no, it wasn't a smooth ride, but actually, the people that said no, or the doors that closed to what I wanted or how much money I wanted, it didn't knock me and make me go, okay, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do it. It actually drove me forward, and it made me kind of go, okay, you know what, that's fine, it's not for you, I'll keep going. And so my advice, I don't know if that's a do or a don't, but is just to keep going. And if you believe in this project, it can be done. Like, you can make something out of very little now. I mean, look at the iPhones that they're making now. You can shoot proper movies on them, and beautiful movies on them. Having said that, I did persuade Panavision to sponsor me for 2 of the days of filming. So we got a really good deal on the most beautiful red camera, 4K, and I'm so grateful to them for that.
Well, it's beautiful. So you can see that you've clearly, not used an iPhone, or maybe iPhones look like that, but your film is.
Who knows? I guess, I didn't have the talent then to use a phone, but yeah, it's funny actually what you can do when you take the personal approach, I think, and maybe, yeah, so keep going, and yeah, don't be scared to do it. Even if you don't have the budget, it can still be done.
Amazing. And can I ask, so Jonathan Tafler?
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's magnificent as well. And how did you find him? Was this an audition process, or did you just ask?
No. So I come from an acting background, and so the whole cast, apart from the kids, were people that I'd worked with before and had made friendships with. And so Jonathan is an amazing actor, and I was in a short film with him a while back now, maybe about 6 years ago. And he actually was a teacher in my sister's college years ago as well. So we kind of had that connection, and I was trying to think, like, who lives over here for one, and who would be willing to do it and is in that age bracket. And I couldn't think of anyone Irish that I knew that was in that age bracket living over here. So I approached Jonathan because I think he taught voices, or he was a dialect coach, I think. And so I said, how do you feel about doing an Irish accent? And he was amazing. He just had that subtlety to him, and that kind of quiet power.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe him, a quiet power.
Oh yes, yeah. The Catholic priests were good at just being subtle, but having that all power kind of feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm delighted. This has been wonderful. Thank you for sharing, your just a little bit about the journey of making The Widow, and I hope it leads to millions of great things. It is.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, during TweetFest next week, people can see your short film at a Fest Home, like on the Fest Home platform. We're really, really thrilled, and we'll be looking forward to seeing how you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, and good luck with the rest of the journey for the film.
Oh, cheers. Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to play the Widows trailer now for everybody, and we'll see you at TweetFest 2020.
Yay. I'm so excited.
Bye, Ailish.
Bye. Once upon a time, there was a little black horse. He belonged to a jolly fat man who harnessed him into a fine yellow cart every morning. One morning, he gave the little black horse a full bag of oats for his breakfast. I'm hungry, Mummy.
How long has it been now?
It'll be 2 years this autumn, Father.
God rest his soul. Do not neglect to show kindness to strangers, for in this way some, without knowing it, have had angels as their guests.
Bless us, O Lord, as we sit together. Bless the hands that made the food. Bless us, O Lord. Amen.
Have faith, my dear. God has a plan for us all.